Welcome to the SwimSwam podcast. I'm your host, Coleman Hodges. Joining me today, I've got count them, two very special guests. You will recognize one of their names from breaking multiple national age group records in the boys 13-14 yards category over these past few weeks. We've got his coach as well. Please welcome from the Cumberland YMCA, Daniel Diehl and Brian Dowling. Guys, how you doing today?
Good.
It's great to have you on the podcast. I'm excited to pick your brains. Daniel, let's start with you. You've had a series of really phenomenal races at these last few meets that you've competed at. Can you take me through some of these races and how have you been feeling at these last couple competitions?
Well, it first started with we had a inter squad meet. Well, pretty much the Eagle swim team. We asked them if we could go because we couldn't find any meets, and they let us come. So it's pretty much just Eagles team plus me, and they had one meet. It was it was 1 week before I broke the 200 free NAG record.
Mm-hmm.
I swam a 200 free there, and I was really nervous because my first swim back, and I also tried to put my tech suit on in the car because their locker rooms were closed. I couldn't get it on. My fingers were bleeding because I was ripping so hard. So I was really nervous. I couldn't get my tech suit on, so I ended up doing it in a brief, and ended up having time. So I was really disappointed with that. But then we realized that they had another week, another meet 3 weeks later. So we went to that, and I swam 2 free again. And I broke the NAG record by a second and a half. The race felt really good. It felt exactly like I went 1:40.00 at States in March, and it felt exactly like it did there. It was just a lot faster. And then another week later, I missed the 100 back NAG record by 0.1 there. So we decided to go to a meet in Keystone the next week, and I broke that record by 0.4. And then missed the 100 free by 0.1, which was great.
which was great. I wasn't expecting that descriptor. What makes you say that 100 free was great?
I was being sarcastic. It sucks.
Sorry, I'm a terrible host. I didn't pick up on that at all. But I mean, to me, that swim is still great. You went 44.00. You missed Michael Andrews' 13-14 NAG of 43.90. Like you said, by just a tenth. But let's give a little more context. Daniel swam 47.44 in the 100-yard backstroke to break that NAG. You went 136.75 in the 200 free, and you split it. I mean, nearly perfectly in my eyes. You go 22.5 and then 24.8, 24.8, 24.4. You said that felt exactly like it had at a states meet a while back, but you went 4 seconds faster.
Yeah.
Take me through that race particularly. I mean, were you shooting for that NAG? Did you think you had that big of a drop in you?
Yeah, after I went 140.00 at States, I wasn't expecting that at all. I knew I could get the NAG record. My plan was to go at 2 weeks later at YMCA Nationals, but of course that got canceled. So then that got delayed until next week. And pretty much my game plan, the 200 free is first 50, just take it out slow, don't even kick at all. And then, first 75, I don't kick at all. And then I start to build it, and then I pretty much sprint to coming home. That's how I swim that race.
He's going out 22.5 and he's not kicking at all. That's impressive. I'm gonna take it over to Brian for a minute. Brian, coming back these first few meets, what were you seeing in practice from Daniel, and then what were you expecting out of these races?
Prior to the first 200 freestyle, we were doing pretty much pace work, 20/50s, 20 seconds rest. He was supposed to hold 25 flat, 25 flat, 25 flat, and we were hitting that when we got close to this time. So I'm happy it was much faster, but yeah, it was really, that's how we kind of led up to that one.
Yeah. And so that, I mean, that seems like pretty good. Let's take it back a little from before these tags. Like you said, why Nats were canceled. I think that was the first, big meet to get canceled, and then NCAA's followed, and then everything followed. And so what was your, Daniel, we'll come back over to you. What was your time like in quarantine? Was there a big chunk for you that was out of the pool? And then when did you finally start being able to get back in and training?
I think we were out of the pool for like 4 months, right?
Yeah.
And during that time, I was running a lot. I went on a couple like 70-mile bike rides. That was fun. Then eventually, once it got warm enough, it was like 50 degrees out or so. In May, I started swimming in the lake because there's a lake like 10 minutes from my house. So I would swim in there for like 30 minutes. And because I was so cold, I have to get out and start running to like warm up. And then I would once I warmed up, I'd get back in, swim for another 30 minutes. Like I did a lot of swims at the lake. That was pretty fun.
All our outside pools weren't even open yet at this time, and we only have maybe 2 indoor pools in our city, and they were all closed, and one's being here, the Y. So we were trying to find every avenue that we could to find any water time. Once the parks opened up, then some of the outdoor pools were available, and then eventually didn't get back to the Y. Didn't start back until like June.
Wow. So yeah, so that's like you said, 4 months out of the water, pretty significant. Once you got back into the Y, how are you feeling in the pool?
Well, when I was swimming at the lake, I was doing like pretty much freestyle for like an hour straight. So my freestyle, it felt fine, but my backstroke, butterfly, and breaststroke all felt terrible. So I think that's a big reason why my freestyle has improved a lot versus like butterfly, it dropped a tiny bit, and backstroke, I dropped a good bit, but my freestyle I've dropped the most because I think the lake swimming.
Definitely. So Brian, when you were able to get back in the Y, how big is the group that you coach, and what kind of stuff were you guys doing just at the beginning there when you first got back in June?
We only first get back, it's just him. Okay. And then even now we only have 4 kids. It's one of them's my son, who's 2 years younger than him, and that's pretty much our routine for USA Swimming. We really only have about 5 to 8 kids that are USA Swimming only from the Y, that are just not that come off the Y. We weren't able to get a USA club for the Y, so we've been unattached pretty much, and that's why he's unattached and so forth.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I did not realize that, but so you guys have a small crew. So what, once you were able to get back in, right, what kind of training have you guys been doing? You mentioned that 2050 set, trying to hold 25s.
Most of our workouts are, about 75% of it's mostly long aerobic work, 200s, 300 repeats, free IMs, normal IMs. We train a lot of IM. And a lot of freestyle, and then towards the end of the practice, we usually do more specialty work. But what makes it so good here, is because it is a small area. It's a small team. He gets one-on-one. We get immediate feedback. If he doesn't like something or I don't like something, we discuss it and go from plan. We can easily change a plan. If this week backstroke is like having a problem, we can switch it to something else and refocus on different plans.
Yeah. Brian, what do you like about, you said 70% is just long aerobic, 200s and 300s repeat. What do you personally like about that as a coach?
For him, I like it because it definitely gives me the base that he needs later down when we try to do a taper, that I know he's going to be able to come home, and the work is done. And he's great. I mean, I wish I had 20 of them. Everybody did the same thing. Yes, yes, yes. I'll try. You couldn't. He's there every day. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just give you a little more insight. So I'm a volunteer. I'm not sure if anybody knew that or not. But anyway, I used to swim way back when, and I think I used to swim back at Mercersburg and Bowls and way back in the day. And went to NC State. But I think that's all I can say.
All right. Main thought.
Yeah.
And so, Daniel, what do you think of this training? How it seems like you've reacted well to it so far. But tell me about your thoughts on the training, and have you done anything since you've come back that has stood out to you?
Trying to think of things that stood out. I think like long distance is good. Like right now I think we should do more like we're not doing as much yards as we should be. So like starting next week I'm gonna start swimming more often. Because right now I'm only doing 5 practices a week. I'm gonna start doing 8. So I think that's a big thing I need to work on is swimming more often, having more pool time. And do you know any hard sets we've done?
Any hard sets? That's a tough.
It's all been easy.
We did 125 sprint. That was pretty hard. It's not really a distance set, but
no, it's 25.
Yeah, that still sounds pretty hard.
Yeah, after like it was fun until like number 50, because then it just felt terrible.
We do a lot of pyramid sets, a lot of 5, 4s, 3, 2, 1s, and back downs. Intermixed on those with intermixed sprinting, and that's that'll take about half the practice on several days of the week. That's about all I can really. I have every practice written down.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense of what your day-to-day is looking like. I think you've done a great job describing it so far. And I am appreciative of that. So moving forward, Daniel, what are you looking for out of races? Now, have you turned 15 yet, or are you about to turn 15?
October 26th is my birthday.
Okay.
We're sneaking in one more meet on the 25th, doing 100 free, trying to drop that 0.1.
Really?
Yeah.
That is exciting. I did not realize that, but woo! I'm pulling for you.
That out yesterday.
Nice. Okay, so that's a perfect lead in. What are you gonna do to drop that 1/10 and get down to 43.9?
Well, my finish was terrible. I took my arm, I took it out wide instead of like going straight into the wall. And also my second breakout wasn't very good. I was late. So that's like half second right there.
It's half second right there. Done and done. So when you're swimming 100 freestyle, you dive in. What are you focusing on during that race?
Tempo and kicking. It's like you have to have a fast tempo, and I breathe every 2 because I think I'm faster like that. Other than lost my train of thought. I know something I need to work on is the turns, because right now my turns aren't very good. It's just my stroke that's really carrying me through the 100.
So you're focusing on tempo. You're focusing on your kick. Do you have a certain tempo that you try to hit in practices, or are you just thinking, I need to spin my arms as fast as possible?
Spin. Keeping the spin, but keep the stroke long.
With breathing every stroke in a 100 sprint, it's very easy that tempo gets very slowed down as you're constantly breathing every stroke. So we've been trying to work on so he keeps that tempo the entire race, particularly for the 100, and that's been a new thing that we've been doing.
Nice. So since you've been back in June, has the focus changed at all as opposed to before? Maybe when you were heading into YNATS or that meet, when you couldn't get the tech suit on, have your focuses changed at all? Have your goals changed? Has the way you guys are approaching training changed at all?
I think it's been a lot more freestyle heavy recently versus then it was a lot more IM. I think now we're doing more freestyle. So I think after I went 140 at States, we realized I was pretty good at freestyle, so we should train it more. I think that's how that went.
I mean, basically, he's so diverse. There really wasn't too many bad races that he would have or bad events that he would have. Occasionally, the breaststrokes is probably his weakest one that we're still working on. But, when you go to the 3 or 4 day meets, he would do 10, 12 races. There really wasn't a bad one that was really or outstanding. And then as we went on into the season, we found that the freestyles were getting faster and faster. And then, we just, depending on the entries and where we were, we just couldn't get the 100 free in before COVID started.
And so, tell me a little bit about your swim history, Daniel. How long have you been swimming competitively? Obviously, you're 14 years old now, about to be 15. But it seems like you're pretty serious about your swimming right now. How long is that? How long have you been in swimming?
I started swimming when I was like 7 on like just some summer team because my brothers did it, so I wanted to like do what they're doing. But then I was pretty good at it. Like I think I won like every race in the summer league, so I liked it. So then I started doing winter, and then I got really serious swimming when I was 12, and that's when he came and started coaching me.
And so, Brian, when did you started coaching Daniel when he was 12? What prompted? Okay, what prompted that? What made you say, all right?
Oh yeah, here I am. I was an official. Like I said, my son was on the team as well, and I was an official for several years. And then they needed some help, and I volunteered help, assistant coaching, and I just helped them with workouts. And then came December 31st, in the middle of the season, the coach said I'm leaving, and it was either the team was going to fold or what. And I had to, I stood up and said I'm going to go help you guys coach and run the coach and do it as a volunteer and what I can do. And I did it, and I just took what I knew from my own background and my own practicing and kind of got it all together. And we've had at least 3 or 4 teams since then. So although this year the Y team's not going to happen, I don't think, this year.
Gotcha. And Daniel, do your brothers still swim at all?
No, they don't. My one brother is 19, so he did summer league until he was 18, but now he's too old for that. And my other brother played football, but yeah, he didn't like swimming very much, so he played football.
And what did you like about swimming so much that really made it stick?
I think I liked winning, but now it's more like I like all the people that I met through swimming. Like I have a bunch of friends like all over the place, and also I have like friends here.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone before this, and they said the same thing. They've gotten so many friends out of swimming, and that's what they really appreciated about it. Has there been a favorite meet you've been to so far, or a meet experience that really stands out to you?
I think all the big meets, like every time I go to Wynats, it's a lot of fun. I think it'd be a lot more fun now because I could actually win. But I think the meets the past month have been really fun because I've been doing really well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Doing well. And it sounds like you've put in some training. I mean, I don't know if rest or taper are the right words, but what would you say your mindset is heading into these races? I mean, obviously you're putting a fast suit on, but physically and mentally, how have you felt heading into this last month of races?
Well, I'm a little nervous, but after my first race, actually I was only nervous for the first race. After that, I was confident. I've just been really wanting to do well. The 100 back NAG record, I've had that on my wall since I was 12. I've always wanted that. And when I missed it, I was really upset about it. But then the next day I realized, all right, we're having a meet next week. I'm going to go get it. Then when I actually got it, it was really nice.
That's a long one. Yeah, the backstroke's been a long one for us. That's that 47.83 mark has been on his wall for, since he was 12. Yeah.
I that's always so cool to put a goal out there and then to finally reach it. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. Do you feel like anyone, did you make a change in your backstroke? Did any one thing come together for you in that race? I mean, what did you adjust from the race where you didn't get it to the race where you did finally get it?
Well, I think I didn't get it because the race where I went 48.0 and I missed it, it was on
second race. This is the second race, right?
No, it was first race of Sunday, but it was on Sunday, so I was a little sore from Saturday. And the next week, it was like my first race it was also Sunday, but I wasn't tired at all, and I felt a lot better. And I came home a lot better because I think I was less tired because I slept better as well.
Nice. And so, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It seems like as you're racing, you're just getting better and better. And you're kind of getting into that racing mode again. Are you swimming any other events at this next meet besides the 100 freestyle?
Just 100 free and 50 free. So I wanted to go 19.99 because that's a really cool barrier in the 50 free.
Absolutely. And what's your best time currently?
20.38.
Yeah, 3.8.
Okay. And do you know what the NAG is in that?
Yeah, it's 19.73. That's a little much for me. I'm not quite a sprinter.
Hey, I mean, you're breaking these NAGs by good chunks when you break them. So I'm not going to put it out of the realm of possibilities, but well, I guess we'll see what happens. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Before we sign off here, any parting thoughts from either of you guys moving forward?
We're also going to the U.S. Open, try to get some trial cuts.
Right.
So that's the meet that we're going for after the meet on Sunday.
Right. And then Olympic trial cuts, and then trials. Yeah. We were just going to try for one race, but now it looks like we're close to maybe 4 races now.
And would that be 1 free, 2 free, 100 back, 50 free?
2 IM.
2 IM, we think.
I haven't done one, but I think right now I could go like 147 short course. So.
And so when is the last time you swam the 2 IM?
March. I swam it at States.
And how did that?
150.8, but I'm a lot faster in like every stroke now, so I think it'd be a lot better.
Nice. Well, Brian, Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me. I really appreciate it, and it's been really fun getting to catch up with you guys, and I'm hoping to see another NAG or two in the coming week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.